Welcome Aries to your March 2020 astrology forecast. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you'd subscribe. This month begins with an interesting combination of energy because the Sun and also Mercury are in the sign of Pisces, but Mercury is in retrograde, but it inverts by the 4th back into the sign of Aquarius, which it left on the 16th of February. Now it's going to re-emerge back into Pisces on the 16th of this month, ironically, but it won't be until the 10th that the retrograde itself stops and the 29th before it completely comes out of shadow. So I think around communications generally, what this suggests to me is that something may have been under quite deep consideration for you, and this may be an intensely personal matter. Perhaps you've just only been sharing it with someone very close to you who you can absolutely rely upon. Perhaps it is also linked to your future life direction, possibly even a friendship or a long-held aspiration. But I do feel that from the 4th, by reaching out to someone that perhaps you have felt that there's been some kind of separation from, even if there's been nothing tangible that's been said, I do feel it can be very positive to do. Now from the 5th through to the 12th of this month, we have two really big conjunctions. Because on the 5th, Venus, the planet of love and affection, moves out of your sign and into the sign of Taurus, which it rules. Venus in its transit through Aries has been in detriment, moving into Taurus. It comes into its own, but it immediately combines with Uranus through to the 12th. Don't be surprised if your financial situation goes through a surprise improvement. But even if you've been working hard in a very methodical way towards a set target, I do feel that it can still, something can still break for you quite spontaneously that may require you to make a snap decision. It could even be around your love life. So if a romantic relationship has been bumping along the bottom, Uranus's more freedom-loving credentials could push you through Venus to be a little bit bolder about what's right for you, the individual, especially if there's been tensions around money. But what you also need to be conscious of, Aries, is that across the same set of days, from the 5th to the 12th, the Sun is combining with Neptune, which could see you lower in physical vitality and also feeling a little bit confused about what to do about such a deeply private matter. But I think Mercury, even though it is retrograde initially, arriving in the sign of Aquarius is going to help you. And then on the 9th, we do have a very important full moon. But this full moon is going to be forging an absolutely wonderful alliance with Jupiter, the planet of growth. And in fact, from the 9th through to the 31st of this month, Jupiter moves into an increasingly close relationship with Pluto, the planet of change. Of course, Saturn and Pluto were dominating for many months of last year. That all came up to a peak on the 12th of January. And then on the 18th of February, they started to separate. And Saturn continues to pick up speed this month and fascinatingly moves altogether out of the sign of Capricorn and into the sign of Aquarius. And this for you happens on the 22nd of this month. But also your ruling planet Mars is going to be going into the sign of Aquarius too, but on the 31st, so on the last day. So I feel that you're going to be moving into your own power a lot more about your future direction in life. And part of this is going to come from the fact that the Sun moves into your sign on the 20th, the vernal equinox. We have the Sun moving into Aries and the whole Western tropical astrological calendar begins afresh. But this can give you a lot of desire to reassert yourself. And I think where Saturn was being quite a brake around your worldly interactions, your desires, your ambitions, your goals, now Jupiter collaborating with Pluto just seems to stack up opportunities for you to do so much better. So this initial energy at the start of the month, which is very Piscean, which may see you lower in physical vitality, not quite so clear about what you want to do, perhaps then enjoying some financial fortune or having some decision to make about a romantic relationship. And then the full moon is asking you to think very carefully about balancing where you're sacrificing to others and where you invest of yourself in a more careful way about your own personal, emotional, physical and mental needs. If you're in a job, for example, that just isn't really working for you, I think the full moon on the 9th and its angle to Jupiter and obviously Pluto is saying think big. Transformation is in the works. So even if you start this month feeling a bit sluggish, there have been those cross wires, you're not quite sure about where someone is coming from, I think as the days go by, there is going to be a picking up of momentum. And of course, Mercury going forwards is of great help to you. It does move back into Pisces from Aquarius on the 16th. It is true to say that in the sign of Pisces, Mercury is in detriment, so you still need to be careful that you're planning things with a great deal of care, your communication is crystal clear, you're checking things, you're trying to be as logical as possible, because the watery energy of Pisces can dilute the energy and the vibrancy of Mercury in this part of your situation. Now, I've said to you that Saturn moves on the 22nd. It's going to be here through to the end of June. It will go back into Capricorn and then it retreats to about 25 degrees Capricorn before moving into Aquarius on the 14th of December, when we have a glorious solar eclipse, which is going to be in an amazing trine with your ruler Mars, which occupies your sign for the last 6 months of this year. So there's so much to look forward to for you personally, Aries. But the 24th also sees a new moon in your sign. Now this forges a semi-sextile, intriguingly, with Uranus. So Uranus is giving you the push to be a bit more inventive and resourceful, and perhaps even taking the less trodden path around your money on the back of its combination with Venus from the 5th to the 12th. But this particular new moon in the following month is saying to you, do be open-minded about how you can use your individual skills, your flair, your ability to listen to your gut feeling, and you can convert that to some exciting improvements in your resources if you tune into the energy that Uranus is giving you in your second house, which is kind of saying to you, even if you're someone who can be a bit cautious about your resources, as long as you do your homework, I do feel as this month comes to an end, there's a real growth agenda for you. It's all picking up pace. It's all getting so much more positive for you. It's absolutely fabulous. And then Mercury coming out of shadow on the 29th can see something that has been niggling away and perhaps worrying you start to be resolved. And then as Mars joins with Saturn on the very last day, this is going to give you an awful lot of determination to do better around friendships, sociability, long-term plans. Now, from the 18th to the 25th, Mercury is also going to be forging a very positive angle with Uranus. This is kind of a repeat because of the retrograde. So again, it could be a hunch. Mercury in the 12th house can do well for you when it comes to your financial resources. And your gut instinct is one of your greatest qualities. It helps you to tune in a way that other people sometimes don't do. They tend to ponder and worry, whereas you can take action decisively once the gut feeling feels right. And I think by the end of this month, you're going to be going so much more forward at such a greater velocity of pace, and really showing people just absolutely what a class act you can be. If you'd like to elevate your knowledge above your zodiac sign and embrace personal astrology, please see the link beneath this video. You can order a 12-month forecast, get a character analysis based on your time, date and place of birth, and also get a 30% discount. or you can choose to have a one-to-one consultation with me personally. But for now, good luck and goodbye.